do you break this sort of Raila Uhuru dalliance from 2018 to now and everything that has happened in between and sort of the distancing of the deputy president with the entire 10 years of sort of Jubilee failure or Jubilee success? Where do you break this, sort of line and say, well, we'll take the successes we've helped Jubilee for the last 5 years to, stabilize the country or whatever it is, and then the failures that Jubilee has done for the last 10 years is not ours. It belongs to another party.
Well, I have to say, first of all, that let's remember that the Supreme Court nullified the 2017 elections. Let's remember that the country was on fire. And the country was about to go over the cliff. And it was the wisdom of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. And I must say the wisdom of Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta. For them to come together, to lower the temperatures, to shake hands. I don't think that anyone can fault them for that. Okay? I think the problem, however, is that the person of the deputy president, okay, who occupies office and who has squatted in that office to this day, fleecing the taxpayer, some people call him a ghost worker. AWOL, absent without leave, okay? Gone away from office, okay? Mr. Odinga has done the right thing by working with Mr. Kenyatta to help steady the ship of state, okay? We know that much of the debt that this country, for example, carries was incurred in the first term. We know that actually a lot of some of this infrastructure that we are seeing today has been done in the last 5 years when Mr. Ruto has been gallivanting across the country, So I would say that rather than crucifying, Mr. Odinga for helping stabilize the country, we ought to thank him for that. And we ought to say this to Kenyans. They have only one country to call home. The African state is a fragile state, okay? You don't play with it. We've seen what has happened when other countries have collapsed. To snatch them back is very, very difficult. So I have no qualms about all of this. What I will say to you is this, just in closing, is simply to say that, you don't make peace with your friends. You make peace with your foes and with your enemies. These two guys came together and they made peace. But now what we are trying to do within Azimio is to take this country from where it is, to address the kind of pocketbook issues that he was talking about, to realize the promise of our forefathers.
Okay.
That is what we're trying to do here.
But Prof, the quick question is, in your mind, has Jubilee failed or succeeded in the last 10 years?
I would say that it's a very mixed record, quite frankly. There are many successes, but there are also many failures. But that is true of most governments as well. Let me say this. Our obligation to Kenyans is not to, talk about, to lament about failures in this country. It is to offer solutions to the problems that this country faces. Okay. It is not simply to keep on pointing fingers and saying that this has gone wrong, this has gone wrong. It is to say what we are going to do to fix these problems. Kenyans are not interested in finger pointing all the time. They are interested in solutions. People want health care. People want food on their table. People want education, as Mr. Havi here would surely attest to.
And you're offering that solution.
But Kenyans also want us to learn from the mistakes of history. So all the mistakes that have been done by Jubilee surely must be corrected, and it cannot be repeated by the next administration.
Okay, I want to go on a break. Do you accept whose Jubilee, has Jubilee failed or succeeded the last 10 years from where you sit as I go on a break?
Jubilee has failed, and it has failed substantially because the principal, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, failed to embrace the person he got elected into office with and work together with him, and failed in his Big Four agenda. And before we go to the break, I must plead with the people of Mount Kenya to see the mistreatment with which Dr. William Ruto was subjected to as deputy president. as day succeeds night, if they make the mistake of giving Azimio the presidency, the person they're looking at as a prospective deputy president will be subjected to the same mistreatment because it is a continuation of President Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure.
Okay.